Hello and welcome to another video. In this session we're going to be using Ronin only specifically, and I'll try and obviously explain a few things about her and her class and see if we can get any tips or tricks proven and shown on the screen for you to show you the best tactics to play with as Ronin. So without further ado, let's get into a game. In fact, I'm going to instead of playing Demolition, I'm going to change the game mode to Strikeout because I think Strikeout is a bit more fun, a bit more fast paced, especially with Ronin, who of course is quite adaptable in terms of being a rushing class, not Russian as in the actual nationality, but rushing. She's very fast, and of course she has the ability of being able to use her special, which is a throwing knife, explosive, and of course an SMG, which is very, very fast fire rate. So it's doing that glitch again. If you've seen my previous video, then you would see that the searching element for this game can sometimes glitch out and just randomly stop. That is one thing I am really annoyed about. They've made changes to the game recently, but one of the things they haven't bothered to address is the searching element. Don't know why it does it. Don't know if there's ever an answer out there. If developers have said why. I can only assume that it's some sort of timeout issue with the servers, where it finds one and then it times out and it can connect. But ideally, they should have some sort of refreshing system that's automatic. But enough ranting about that. Ronin, again, she is one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. I am someone who does like to play a little bit more rush and attack, so it kind of suits me very well. Again, Lancer is my favourite. She's the fastest, and you can get to the other side of the map pretty quickly, and of course with the ability of staying silent. But Ronin, of course, is close in similarity. Of course, you don't get the benefit of rolling and reloading at the same time. And you also don't get, of course, the silence on the footsteps. But again, you know, as you play the game and you develop yourself and find which characters suit you best, you know, you'll find out which ones have got the best things that suit you. Again, she's got a pretty cool samurai sword that I rarely use. Sometimes when you're feeling up to it, if you fancy trying to get a decent kill, then you can put it on and see if you can get a throw and kill. But let's have a look at the combat loadout whilst we wait. So, having a look here, you've either got the option of a KA-30 or the SLC, which you can see, look at that fire rate, it's insane. And the body damage as well. Of course, it's only a slight improvement on that KA. The SMG just covers so much ground. And although you might struggle at longer range, it still connects on the bullets, which you should see in this game. So it's still pretty good. And then you've also got the backup of having your grenade and your throwing knife explosive, which is really handy to have. See, grab every time. It's always a worry when you go into a game. Somebody could just grab the character so quick. They're so used to it. They're the type of people that refuse to play as any other character, I believe. But you get it more with the initial unlocked characters rather than the unlockable characters, because obviously a lot of people don't have them yet. It does take quite a while to accumulate enough points to unlock them without having to purchase, but I think it's well worth it. The game's fun to play as any character, but you will obviously find your favourites and you can unlock ones that you feel as though
I'll show you how it's done.
So straight off the bat, get the SLC,
This
get the
will
grenade.
make a statement.
No katana at this point.
Strike out. Eliminate all enemies.
Let's go. Oh, it looks like the guys wanting to go this way.
Lethal out.
Oh, lovely. Oh, oh, oh,
Lethal out.
Oh, you can't get that. Come back and get me. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. It's always good when you've got a saint on your team. The drone.
Lethal out.
Oh, hello. You got the high advantage.
I can't do that.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Nearly had him. Nearly had him. I would bleed out. I think a teammate was coming for me, but that would have been a bad move because there was quite a few of them there.
Enemy spotted.
Ooh,
Foolish.
losing them. Losing them.
Do you expect? Lethal out.
Oh, that's pretty naughty of me there.
5 reinforcements remaining.
Just do some peering. Well, I've been revealed. It's a bit annoying. Oh, hello.
Enemy spotted.
Oh, direct impact, baby! That was Dutty. Let's go and do some peering around here.
Enemy spot.
Yeah.
Go here.
Oh, got your number. Yeah, that was a bit of a silly move for me because obviously there was somebody behind that wall, as one of the teammates noted, but ignored. They've only got 1 life left anyway, so it's pretty secured, and they're about to lose it from the objective anyway. Oh, there we go. Ooh, you know
Out
where
of
I am.
line.
Oh, that was a poor grenade. That could have been a really bloody good grenade.
You okay? You
Well,
okay?
it's defended. Oh, shoot. Bit silly. Bit silly.
45 seconds, and this one's ours.
Lovely. Anyone got any beer, right?
Beautifully done.
Oh, look at that dance. Right, so I don't see the benefit, to be honest with you, with having reload situation. I always tend to reload naturally anyway. It's just a sort of buffering moment after getting a kill, damaging an enemy firearm. That's pretty beneficial for the rest of the team.
My
I
favorite.
think I'm going to go for an upgrade. Let's go. So let's see what happens.
Lethal out.
Oh, the enemy's on it. No? Lovely. It's a good start.
I'm down.
Get me off.
Lethal out. I got your
Maybe that
back.
grenade gives a bit of cover fire. Yeah, push it.
Where are they?
They'll love this.
Down. 2 down. That saved me then. Bit roly-poly. Oh, that'll do. That'll do. No way. Yes, you shouldn't have died so quick.
Nothing. Get
Insane,
up.
because we had support.
I'm good. What do you expect?
Okay.
Enemies are running
Go
low
for
on
the flank
reinforcements.
rounds.
We meet again.
They'll love this.
I'll stop them from coming around there. See you later. That is a normal setup, having 2 main weapons.
Stop being
Pretty
like
powerful.
baby.
Oh, hello. Get out of that.
They're out of reinforcements. Finish the job.
You shouldn't have rushed. Yeah.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted.
See you later.
45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, baby.
Hostiles. Nice and clean.
That was a lovely game.
It's
Or
nothing.
lovely round,
Get
should
up.
I say. With the game. Overall, it's been good anyway.
Just one more
Let's
round.
max that out. Max that out.
This will make
And we're ready to
sense.
go. Oh, dance off. Let's get going. Go straight for the objective, lock that in, go on a killing spree. So hopefully you've seen Ronin and the ability of, being able to move quite quickly. The SFC submachine gun is just powerful, it rips. If you're close to medium range, it just rips. You've got the grenade and of course the special ability with the throwing knife, which just comes in. So handy. I don't know why I did that. I just knew it was a bad idea. There was so much going on there anyway. But back in the fight. Oh, I need to try and get him. You should. Oh.
Lethal out. They'll love this.
Let's see if we can get an angle round. Get my knife back. Come on. That animation is awful.
They'll love this.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Yeah, buddy. Thank you very much.
I'm good.
Running low on
Woohoo!
reinforcements.
No match for me.
Whoa! Ah. We're still thrashing. 11 lives to 4 lives. Our kills are mad team. Quite even.
Foolish.
Good team. Well matched. Go down.
They're out of reinforcements. Finish the
I
job.
like the fact that most of them connected. Pretty cool. Here we go.
You okay? You okay?
Thanks.
Need help.
See you later.
45 seconds and this one's ours.
Enemy spotted.
Woo! Yeah!
Hostiles eliminated.
Woo!
Beautifully done.
Face wall. Ah, it's gone. Ah, that was
You thought
nice
I
and
was
easy.
gonna lose? Yeah, right.
So that was just a quick showcase of Ronin. Again, one of my favourite characters in the game. So much going for quick, great weapons to choose from. You've got the grenade, which is just one of the best things to have in the game, as well as the explosive knife, which again doubles up as another explosive or grenade, which is really cool. So going into Rogue's loadout, just to go over quickly. My preference would be the SLC. You're going to benefit so much more from that. The rapid fire is going to be amazing, and then obviously tiering it up to tier 3. You've obviously got increased mag size at tier 1, increased hip fire accuracy at tier 2, and the suppressing fire and reduces recoil at tier 3. So that tier 3 is the most beneficial because the handling does increase. Obviously the Spitfire as your secondary, that's going to be your go-to anyway from the first round. It's so handy to have. It matches up so well with the SLC. which is amazing. I think the Spitfire, as well as with a few of the unlockable characters, they have semi-automatic pistols, which just has such an edge on the first initial rounds, because just your normal handguns, awful. Katana, not much to say about the katana, but it's pretty cool. I never really realised that you could increase the tier systems on them, but you've got the throw damage and the swing damage as well. Smoke grenade. Now, one thing to note is you can only have one type of grenade or special. So, you've got to make a choice. Will you benefit more from a smoke grenade or an actual grenade? I think most people will naturally go to the grenade because it's got the ability to down an enemy or even finish them. So I always go for grenade, again, down to your preference. If you want to have that smoke grenade as a decoy, fantastic. Perks. So going through the perks quickly, obviously you've got your low tier at the start here, all the way up to your higher tier. So going through, I'll give you my preferences on what I would prefer to choose and whether or not they are worth choosing regardless. So gain the ability to reload while sprinting. As I mentioned earlier, I don't tend to think this is a worthwhile perk to have, purely because I tend to reload when I'm behind cover, and it's very rare that I'll do it while sprinting. But there are occasions where it comes in handy, and because of the low cost, you could buy it at some point if you've got any leftover cash from upgrading anything else. So you've obviously got, after being damaged, increased movement speed. That's pretty good. If you are in a situation where there's multiple enemies, then of course you want to get away quickly. Ronin is good for moving quick anyway, so I think this is a worthwhile perk to definitely have. So I recommend purchasing that at a point when you can. Increased weapon swap again. It's very rare to find yourself in a situation where you need to swap to your secondary weapon in this game. From my preference anyway, I tend to reload and finish off the enemy team if I've downed any or go into cover. Some of you may find it natural to swap to a secondary weapon. If you do, then this would be beneficial, but preference, I wouldn't necessarily buy this. Again, if I had leftover cash towards the end of the rounds, I'd probably buy it just to buy all the perks. Take reduced damage from explosives. Again, it's hit or miss. I do tend to buy this quite early on, purely because if you're up against an enemy team that's highly explosive, so Demas especially, it's kind of worthwhile having it because it can catch you off guard. So again, analyze the enemy team and see if this is worth getting. But I do tend to buy this quite early on. Downing an enemy reloads your currently equipped weapon and restores ammunition. So again, this is something I don't really bother with. The restoring ammunition, that's only beneficial in Strikeout when you've got the multiple rounds. But again, if you're winning, you've got plenty of lives to play with. But I don't see the point in it if you're playing any other game mode because they're short and sweet. And then obviously currently reloading, I don't see the point of that as well. Again, I always duck for cover or go into cover after I've downed an enemy or I'm getting a lot of heat from the enemy. So I don't see this very beneficial, and it's one of the most expensive ones. So I actually don't see this perk as a benefit. Damaging an enemy with a firearm will reveal them to your team. So this is probably the most beneficial, hence why it is the most expensive perk. Again, I don't see it as a prime benefit early on, so I tend to sort of build up to it if I can, because I can get more with the other abilities that are decent. But I do find myself tending to buy it if I've got a big lump of cash midway through the game. So yeah, if it was my preferences, I would definitely go for this perk. After being damaged, increased movement. I'd go for take reduced damage from explosives, and I'd go for damaging an enemy firearm will reveal your teammates and tracker rounds. So there you have it. That is Ronin. Again, these combat loadouts change and vary per character. So the perks are never the same, guns are never the same, etc. So hopefully you got a bit of an insight into Ronin. See if you like her, trial her out, and let me know down below. Peace out.